Fuck the views.
From the corners where the real ones talk. Now we bring that energy every time we spark. From the mic to the cam, let the whole thing breathe. Boom, back drums while the whole crew leg. Live in the moment, we call it how it is. Culture, music, bars. This the way we live. Real talk only, never watered down. Every episode, heavy one, we hit the town. TV. From the roots of the city to the world we reach. Every line got grit, every word got heat. Street born vibe, with a worldwide beat. Wop, wop, up. Lights on, host in the zone. Let the bass line ride. Crowd up, hands high, let the whole thing vibe. Talk that, let the people all see. What the fuck TV, bring the culture to the beat.
What up, my peoples?
What up?
What up? What up? What up?
Yo,
What's
Yo,
good?
how y'all doing? How y'all doing?
good. This is different, though. This is different.
Yup.
I know.
On Titty Tuesday. I mean, on Tuesday.
Oh, Tuesday, man. This is
No,
what's going
it's
on,
Taco Tuesday and
Taco
Titty
Tuesday,
Tuesday.
man. Taco Tuesday. We representing on a Tuesday, y'all, because a couple of things had to be reworked and rearranged. So thank you for
Nah. Let's just say what it is, bro.
what?
The World Cup. The World Cup, the NBA
Facts.
championship,
Yeah,
which let's not go into the championship yet.
Not yet.
Not just yet. Not just
You
yet.
know what I mean? Not just yet.
Shout
Not
out to
just
everyone
yet.
joining us tomorrow.
I can't. No, I know.
Yeah, shout out all those champs out there.
Yo, for real.
Yeah. I just want to say shout out to everybody who's going to the World Cup games out here in Texas. I'll be going to the Portugal game tomorrow with the family.
Listen,
forward to
I
that.
don't care what you do.
Uh-huh.
You got to send us live videos, bro, because I'll probably just go live and be like, yo, our boy Echo's there, blah, blah, blah.
That would be dope.
You
if
know what I
wanna send
mean?
them, yeah.
And then you call us from there. Yo, I do that.
No. We're gonna represent.
There we go.
Got some live footage. Make sure my joint is charged. Got the mobile charger with me.
There you go.
That'll be dope.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. But
So
what's up,
check
y'all?
this out. Yo, I don't know what is in your algorithm on your YouTube, but there's a whole bunch of stuff going on in YouTube. A whole bunch of stuff. All right. Where you want me to start? With content creators, AI, or the government? Which one?
Damn.
Wow,
Aren't
this
they
is
all
deep.
involved?
We're going deep.
They're all involved.
They all involved.
They all
So,
involved.
so let me start off like this. Y'all know that, I be going in whatever, and I'm always working with AI throughout the day, blah, blah, blah. And I watch a lot of content creators, that are making AI videos on technology that's coming out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, content creators are up to a point right now where you won't even know if they're real or fake.
Right.
Yeah.
I seen that.
All right.
Yeah.
And on top of that, whatever they're talking about, you won't know if it's real or fake.
Yeah.
Right.
man.
Yeah.
This is
Bro,
true.
it's something that they're doing with AI in which they're making it so captivating, the topic that whatever's going on, that I don't know whether it's the brain that doesn't process it. Like, hey, this may be false, this may be true. Okay. So whatever. There's one I won't mention his name because I don't want him to even get bigger. But this fool, these content creators nowadays, number one, they're just giving you half of the story of what's going on. So they'll tell you, yeah, this works like that and like that, but they never tell you how it really works. So be careful what you see, because you might be spending money to try it and it's garbage. All right.
That's true.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I noticed. The internet is just a very delicate thing, on its own. But now adding AI, when I say that it's a very delicate and very delicate tool, I say that a lot of people really, really live their life through the internet. So it's one of those things like, with the AI now, man, it's so easy for those kind of people to get caught up. We tend to be a little bit more tech savvy. So we may be able to identify what's real and what's fake, even with the AI stuff, because we use it a little bit more probably than the average person.
It's true.
It's a shame for those people that are gonna get caught out there, and hopefully it never gets to the point that even people like us who are tech savvy could get caught up because it's so real.
Oh no, I got caught up. I'll admit it. I got caught up, bro. Yeah, I
I'm
got
talking
caught
about
up.
caught up in like something like a fraud something or like
Well, I almost got caught because I was actually gonna pay for the pro so I can get this dashboard, whatever. And it looks all dope and stuff, but it doesn't really work the way it's supposed to work. On top of that, with these content creators now, there's a lot of content creators because of AI. Now they're leaving YouTube to other platforms to where they can monetize more, like Discord, and whatever other platforms people are creating. But it's almost, is there really even money in YouTube anymore? Is the algorithm just messing everybody up because of the way you put your title? Before you were able to put a hashtag and automatically it would reach out to people that were looking, in that format, whatever,
in that category.
In that category, you know what I mean? Now the algorithm is messed up, and I don't know whether people are messing with it themselves or YouTube is just like,
it's the part of it too. It's how quickly a content creator using an AI can put out content.
It is amazingly fast.
Amazingly fast. What usually would take 2 to 3 days can take a couple of hours. And at the same time, it's like you're saying, the substance with the content, is it really real? Is it coming from the mind of a human, or is it just the algorithms working and putting out what it thinks you want to see? So we all have to be a little bit careful with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Be careful, all my peoples out there messing with that stuff. Y'all be careful, man.
You know who?
At the end of the day, the machines are going to take over and kill us anyway. So
Skynet's going to go online.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say, you know who I'm really worried about with AI? The older generation, even older than us, man. They just fall for anything.
Yeah.
If they fall for something like send this to 10 people and you'd be blessed or whatever,
or
they're
I'm
definitely gonna fall for videos.
Or I'm an African prince who's trying to get this, that, third. Remember those letters?
Yeah.
I mean, if I go back to when I was studying multimedia in 1999, we used to talk about this in our multimedia class about the effects of the internet. Now, after the internet has had its little run, now we have what is the effect of AI. And it's true, there's a lot of stuff out there that even I have to say, wait a minute, let me look at this again. Because it's true, a lot of the content, a lot of the information might not be correct.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. Talking about correct now, the biggest news this week. Okay, I'm gonna quote, put in parentheses here, guys. If you guys don't have your own LLM, large language model, your own personal model of AI that you can keep without it going to Wi-Fi, I promise you that it's going to get to the point where they're going to start shutting down this chat GPT and all this bull crap, and you will not have access. You will not be able to function after working so much with AI. You're not going to be able to function if you don't have your own.
Damn, I'm
Yeah.
just learning it now.
Yeah, but and this is why comes to the major news. On the 9th, Claude AI brought out what seems to be the most powerful AI created. I mean, it makes Chat GPT look like what's the smallest AI model? Damn, I can't think of the smallest one. But a small AI, bro. It was so powerful that came out on June 9th, and on June 12th, the US Commerce Department sent Anthropic uh, to stop it and take it down.
Also, they're getting involved in that crap too.
Well,
To stop it and take it down.
well, yeah. The government, as we know it, has been trying to, like, I don't know, I guess put a leash or put like some guardrails for most AIs. So it sounds like yeah, that they're finding a path to do that.
So check it out. Then it gets deeper than that, right? So the US was like, yo, can you make it so that only the US could actually use that model? Anthropic said no. So the US shut it down. This thing was so powerful that it was able to pick out flaws in different softwares. So for the US, that was a no-no.
Oh,
Because imagine this getting into the hands of China, Russia, and them being able to actually find flaws, let's say into the Department of Defense. What would happen?
I mean, leaks, stolen information,
Cyber
That's just crazy.
government secrets being spilled.
Yeah,
I mean,
Vanilla Sky.
but yeah,
I'm telling
it'll
you.
make the wiki a straight up bochinche on the corner.
Oh, the Wikipedia stuff.
Yeah, remember the
WikiLeaks.
Yeah,
It'll make
WikiLeaks,
that
yeah.
look like it was just a bunch of girls gossiping on a corner or something. Like, it's so
Yeah.
minute that it's huge. That's huge.
Yeah,
Bro, check this out. There were even talks. It claimed that one of the versions, Mythos, had a jailbroken Mythos, whatever.
Yeah.
And meaning that they could bypass safety guardrails.
I heard about that with Mythos. Yes.
Bro,
This is why
Everything's wild.
part of the government is trying to find a way to regulate it and
Yeah,
regulate
but-
types of AIs. But
so now they took down one of the most powerful AIs like ever created. Like, when people get their hands on this, if you were creating websites in like 45 minutes with AI, with that Claude Fab, let me get the name exactly, Fable 5, bro, you could do it in like 18 minutes, full build.
yeah,
Rest in peace, Jobs. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
Word.
It's true.
Yo,
Word.
It sounds funny, but it's true.
Rest
Yeah.
in peace. Rest in peace, white collar jobs. Especially in the tech field.
Yeah.
It's gonna get wacky. It's gonna get very spooky. And
It's already getting spooky.
yeah, no, I understand. 'Cause I actually subscribe to a whole bunch of AI newsletters. I rarely read them, but I did it a while back because I kind of wanted to stay afloat with all of the information. And sometimes I don't even feel like reading it because I feel like the more I read it, the sooner the world's end is near. You know what I mean?
Dude.
I'm like, you know
Don't
what?
read it. Don't read none of it.
I'm not gonna read it because I'm gonna go to the end tomorrow, bro.
Dude,
Yeah.
I'm in the so imagine, okay, you're like that when you're getting newsletters. Throughout the day, I'm watching every single news about AI that's coming out. I'm trying out new platforms. I'm trying out new software, whatever, just to be ahead of the curve. Because if we're not ahead of the curve, bro, it's over. It's so much that right now I'm working with this one application. It's called Paperlike. And what it is, it's an AI orchestrator. Okay. So there's another one that's called Hermes, which is an agent. So
Yeah.
you put them both together. And what this does is Hermes is like the agent. So you could put Anthropic to Hermes, you could put OpenAI, you could put whatever other large language models you have, right? Then using Paperlike, which goes on top, it's basically you put in, hey, I want to create a business. And you're the CEO and I want you to hire all the staff. Dun, 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 the CEO, COO,
And it does it
CTO,
all for you. Wow.
Yeah.
all it does it all for you. Not only that, it'll break it out into departments and workers and do the whole workflow from top to bottom.
Mm,
Damn, that's scary.
that's wild.
You know what I mean? Whatever. Before there was N8N, whatever, blah blah blah. But that, if you weren't tech savvy, you weren't gonna get it. But AI is going into a different direction, and you guys better do something. Like, there's some free ones that you could download, but if you notice now, RAM is in the sky. CPUs cost an arm and a leg, you know what I mean, to hold at least a large language model, you know what I mean? And they're giving us the crumbs. Now at this point, the government is making them give us crumbs.
Bro,
So
Yeah,
they
of course.
so they keep us down.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I get on the train from time to time. Well, recently, and there was more ads for so many different AIs now. It's like you don't get the sneaker ads, you don't get the food ads, anything like. What you're getting is, oh, try this AI if you want to streamline
Yep.
your workflow. Get this AI
Yep.
if you want
Damn,
help
that's
with
crazy,
school.
man.
And it's funny you say that because they will piggyback off each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes
They
you don't
all
even
want
have
your
to
money.
tell it.
At the
Because
end
right
of the
after
day.
that, but if you want the pro, cough off some
Yeah.
pain, and like you
Yeah,
said,
exactly.
it might not even be what you need.
yo,
Exactly.
rest in peace, humanity. You feel me?
For
Facts.
real. For
But
real.
Damn, man. I'm laughing, but it's serious, man.
Yeah.
oh, it is.
Oh, yeah.
It is. Now the biggest news of this century,
Oh man,
of this millennium,
damn.
of my whole entire existence. The New York Knicks win the championship.
Clásico, hit the button. Hit the button, Clásico.
Oh, wait, hold on. Wait, hey.
Come on, man.
I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready.
Okay, let me go back. The New York Knicks win the championship.
This
What's
one.
good, champs? What's going on,
No,
champs?
wrong one.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, bro.
You heard a lot of that too, though. You heard a lot of that.
Yeah.
Real
we got-
quick,
yeah.
real
Big
quick
shout to,
before
big shout to New York. Big shout
That's
to
right.
all New York.
Yes.
that's right. Represent.
They needed this. The team needed this.
Nueva York.
Yeah.
Nueva York.
Before we talk about the good stuff of the Knicks, Jalen Bronson, whatever his name is,
Bronson is the
the
rapper.
coach and the center, they went to Jimmy Kimmel.
All of them
And,
were there. It was hilarious.
Guess what the coach did on Jimmy Kimmel?
What do you do?
He sparked up an L.
Well, no. The audience saw him
You
and
want me to
started the
guess
chant.
it?
Who
No,
let
no,
the
no.
dogs
You
out?
want me to say it?
Who let the dogs out?
Again, he did it, bro.
Of course,
1997.
bro.
It's sad because such a popular song, and it comes supposedly from Bahamas, and people in the Bahamas don't even listen to that or never even like that song.
Yeah.
So big shout to everybody in the Bahamas.
Yeah, because supposedly that song, it wasn't the Baha Man, it was somebody else who made it, and the Baha Man made it famous.
Right.
But
Yeah,
now,
regardless,
close to 40 years later,
listen,
you
I
couldn't
don't
find
care.
another song.
Listen, I don't care at this point who wrote it, where it came from. The point that this man just who let the dogs out, roof. Yo,
Yeah.
that killed the Knicks.
Yeah,
but
he's-
anyhow,
I can't
Hey.
front. He is a little bit. I'm not gonna fall for the banana in the tailpipe type of fella. You know what I mean? But-
Okay.
Yeah,
I get that reference. You know what I'm saying?
bro, he's corny as hell. Okay, let's just say
hey,
he's
listen.
corny as hell.
He could be as corny as hell as long as he keeps taking them to the playoffs. We
You know
good.
what I
Oh,
mean?
yes,
But
sir.
now
I gotta
let's
say
celebrate on the Knicks.
Yeah.
How has your week been after seeing the New York Knicks win the NBA championship?
I want Misunderstood to let us know, as being that he's in New York, how has the days leading up to
Okay.
the championship game, after, what is the vibe in New York right now after the Knicks win?
Well, leading up to it, especially going through through most of the playoffs, it was I'm ready to punch anybody in their mouth type of feel. It was that classic New York. We ready to go. We about to get this. This is Wu-Tang and Dipset and the Locks all together. Like, yo, we about to take over the whole city. Along with Anthrax, Biohazard, and the whole entire city. Now, afterwards, I'll tell you like this: I got up nice and early the next day. I went to the gym and it felt light. The whole city felt like a giant weight was lifted.
Oh, I can imagine.
It was peaceful. It's been this joyous thing with all New Yorkers. Like, yo, we finally got one. We did this as a team, and that's the best part about it.
Feels great, man.
I mean, everybody's out there. Yo, how you doing, champ? How's it going, champ? Yo, the champs are here.
Yo,
Because
I'm saying,
the beauty of it is we didn't see one guy do it.
yeah, we saw the team.
We saw
the
team do it.
yes, facts.
You know what I mean?
I was having a conversation with a good friend of mine, and I was like, yo, did you get to hear what Kevin Garnett said to Paul Pierce about what just happened to the NBA? The NBA wanted that one face.
Yup, that
You got
cheating
a
face.
team. You
Yeah.
got a team.
Yeah. Hold on.
You didn't-
Now,
Mhm.
yeah, keep going. You didn't.
I mean, the whole way the Knicks looked
Yeah.
and everything they went through, all the critics, all of these haters who said the Knicks weren't going to make it, they weren't going to get this far. If they do make the playoffs, they're not going to get to the finals. If they do get to the finals, they're going to meet somebody in the West that's going to whoop them. Guess what? It ain't happened.
Yeah.
Now y'all got no choice but to bow down to that one city you hate the
Damn
most.
right.
That's right. That's right.
Committee just went and got themselves a championship.
That's right. Now,
And we're loving the vibe here.
I remember I know one person, I'm not gonna mention any names, but he's in this on this podcast. He almost had like 10 heart attacks in the game. You know what I mean? Classico. How do you feel? Because when the last game that we were commentating on, bro, you were so happy. If you listen back to that live, it was like you were gonna cry.
Yeah, I mean, I did say I was going to be emotional.
No, that was more than emotional, bro. I thought you were going through puberty all over again.
First and foremost, I feel great inside. I even feel a little thinner, but that's just me in my head. Don't even pay attention to what I'm saying.
My man said he lost some weight.
However,
Hey.
I'm with misunderstood. It's the fact that it was so difficult. Not difficult, but every time you said you were a Knicks fan, people knew you were a hardcore fan. We just didn't have anything to show for it, especially for our lifetime. So for us to come out here and say the Knicks are champs and there's nothing you could say about it, man, I've been posting all week long about Knicks stuff over and over and over again. And it's just a great feeling. Any little thing that pops up, I'm sharing it. It's a great vibe and it's a great time, man. The Knicks are the champs. Ain't nothing you could do about it.
Fact.
Everybody.
Echo. Let me hear your take on it. What I know, I know you love New York, whatever, but you're not really a Knicks fan, or you are a Knicks fan, but you just trolling me.
I did not grow up a Knicks fan.
Okay.
I grew up a Michael Jordan fan. Therefore, I like the Bulls, and I've loved the Bulls ever since Michael Jordan has been in there. I've stuck with the Bulls, but I don't hate the Knicks. I think the Knicks have let me down a lot, and that's the reason why I don't mess with them. I also like the fact that New York is in an incredible, huge market, and it never really represented the city the way that I think it should have. I think it should have been up there with the Lakers and the Celtics of the world. And to me, it's like, oh, bro, why we never do shit?
Yeah.
So I am really, truly happy to see the Knicks win a championship. That you don't understand how even if I don't represent the Knicks like that, people are always gonna associate me with the Knicks every time they know I'm from New York. They're like, you like the Knicks? I'm like, cool, but not really the team I follow.
Right.
So I'm not a diehard fan like y'all. So I'm not gonna say that I've stuck with them through thick and thin. But I will say this: it's a new day, right?
Yes, that's right. That's
right.
Out to the Knicks.
God damn.
And I would say this before you say, I hope that this franchise is on the rise and is on the way to establishing itself as a great basketball franchise, and not just a franchise that worries about money. I hope that's
which was our one of our the negative things that the Knicks had, that it was just get all these celebrities in the road, no matter if you had freaking Jeremy Lin playing, was your star player. It was just, as long as those seats were filled, the Knicks didn't really care who was there. Now you get the feeling that they're really putting out a team, and it feels great. I just want to add one thing, Echo, that you had mentioned. I'm amazed at how many non-Knick fans are literally saying, whether you see it on social media, in comments, I'm happy for New York and their fans, because they know how diehard fans we are. But we've been so damn miserable that it's been a constant letdown until now.
And if you're from New York, you understand that. Let me just say one last thing. If you're from New York, you understand the struggle. You know. It's one thing if you like from somewhere else, and you're like, I know the Knicks are number one. So I'm happy for them. Like, nah, as a New Yorker, like, come on now. Like that is it's a big thing.
Well, for those of us that do follow sports down to the business and the politics of it all, it's like you said, it's been years, and you're telling me that the Knicks couldn't at least get one, and it's taken them this long. But when people like analysts and stuff like that, and commentators and journalists look at it and they see the politics behind the Garden, it's almost like it could be almost embarrassing knowing that it took them this long. Knowing one basic decision to just let the front office do what it do, and look what it gives you.
I also feel like when you have multiple teams in New York for all sports, all major sports. And even though there's Brooklyn, I don't really count them as a New York team. Honestly, they're still, to me, the New Jersey Nets. So that's always been that one team. You always had a friend that, if you like the Mets like me, they like the Yankees. If you like the Rangers, they like the Islanders. Or in football, they're a Jets fan, Giants fan, or even Buffalo fan. But this was the one team that I felt everybody was consistently, at least the people that I knew, were fans of. And it's that much more special.
I'm going to tell you what I felt. I was like, when they won, number one, it was late. So I was like, I always get groggy at night. And I'm like, is this for real?
I know.
I'm
Yeah.
like, and I stayed there watching the TV, and then I went to YouTube watching the replays, and I'm like, oh snap,
Hell
this is
yes.
real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
In the real son.
And it's like the last championship that I saw, from my teams was the 86 Mets. You get what I'm saying? And then in
Wow.
the 90s, my Buffalo Bills went 4 times and lost 4 times. You know what I mean? So
Horrible.
to see at least one other team that I love win the championship, bro, I
It's a
was
beautiful
like,
thing.
I'm like, that's it. I could die in peace. You know what I mean? But shout out
It's a
to the
great feeling.
Knicks.
Shout out to the
Yes.
Knicks.
for
One
real.
last thing about the Knicks. This is the only team that people have such a love and admiration for since they were young that has never really delivered. You got Lakers fans everywhere, right? Even
Yeah.
they might be from Memphis, Tennessee, but they might be a Lakers fan because they grew up with the Lakers.
Right.
Watching the Lakers. You might have the same thing with the Bulls, like me. Same thing with other teams. Knicks are that kind of team that
Yeah.
have fans all over the world, including their diehard New York fans. And like I don't know if you guys seen the picture with Darren Fox, where they have pictures of Darren Fox in Knicks
When he
jersey
was rocking a Knicks jersey.
when he was 4, when he was 3 or 4,
Yes.
when he was
Yeah. Yeah.
meaning that he was either indoctrinated into the joint or he just I don't know. He
Yeah.
just came up as a and to see that and knowing that this kind of team is the last of the Mohicans basically when it comes to chips and achievements. Man,
Jets.
I hope it's
Jets.
a new day. I hope it's a new day, man.
Yeah.
I hope things can go
I
forward.
just want to say one last thing before you take a break. This Knicks team was a team that even if you never watch basketball, even if you love another team, with what happened throughout the whole finals, you fell in love
Yeah,
with
man.
that team.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
You saw everything that was going against them, the way they were treated, the way the refs treated them, the way, the Spurs that Dirty Wembanyama acted, and the Knicks kept their composure. They were respectful the whole game. They really did, they took like one or two cheap shots, but they didn't get dirty like the other team.
Mm.
And Jalen Brunson, yo, hats
Came
off.
through.
This guy, he may not be Allen Iverson or LeBron or Kobe, but there's something about Jalen that makes you say, "Damn, you are
Crunch
special,
time.
bro.
Yep.
You are special.
The Brunson
You are
burner.
special." And at no point did I feel he was a ball hog. As a matter of fact, there were a lot of times he would just pass it off to the rest of the team.
Mm.
He to me, he was a team player, a total package.
Leader.
You know what I
A
mean?
leader.
Total leader.
Yeah.
When he saw that they couldn't do anything else, he drove in to get those points to bring them back and gave New York life. You know
Yo,
what I
you
mean?
know what it is?
That's the way I feel.
45 points of the 90, whatever the Knicks scored. He scored 45 of those points, bro.
Sir,
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But
big shout to fathers. Big shout to fathers who
Word
take
up.
time with their kids
Yeah.
and make great men out of
Yep.
their
that's right.
boys.
You know what I
Big shout
mean?
to
So
fathers. The Father's
once
Day
they-
coming up. Big shout to dads.
oh, that was a Father's Day gift to all of you guys. Happy Father's Day, guys.
Yeah.
That's
same
right,
to you,
this
man. Happy
weekend.
Father's Day this weekend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this weekend coming up.
Yo, and a real quick, our brother Echo celebrated his birthday this week. So
Yup.
Word
shout out.
up. Happy
Echo.
birthday.
Big shout to me. You
Big
know what
shout
I
to
mean?
you.
Big shout to all the Geminis. You feel me? All the Geminis all across the world. We run the world.
Oh, these
Now,
Geminis.
Donald-
Oh, man.
except for Donald Trump. Except for Donald Trump. No Donald
There's
Trump.
even a Gemini AI. It should get shut down too.
Good lord.
But anyhow, yo, guys, let's take a quick break and let's come back. For the next segment, we got something special going on. So
Right.
we'll just let that intro play while we take a break. And yo, Knicks,
nothing.
champions.
What up? What up? What up? What's up? How's everybody doing this evening?
Chilling.
How y'all
Yeah.
feeling? Yo,
Yo.
That's feeling great, man.
that's good to
Yo,
hear. What's
That
up?
intro's fire.
Thank you, sir.
Same,
That intro's
facts. I
fire.
agree.
Yo, track created by this guy I know, Grand Hawk. He's a bit of a bass player, and kind of knows how to do a little video editing there. Maybe he'll get a job someday. But anyway,
That's how
this segment right now is called Not For Nothing, because not for nothing, not for nothing. I'm your host, Misunderstood. And in this segment, I want to take a time and a look into the arts that shape who we are since we were young kids until now. Now, my first topic for the viewers and for my panel is hip hop inclusive or exclusive? Do we just allow anybody to come in, or do we even have a say or an in this wonderful culture that has basically raised us? Now, for me, it starts off with a tragic incident back in 1971 with Cornell Black Benji Benjamin, the peacemaker for the Ghetto Brothers, one of the many gangs in New York in the 70s. After his death, the Ghetto Brothers had a choice: go to war or make peace. They chose peace and created a summit that brought all the major gangs together to create unity. They also started the block parties out in the Bronx, which also featured one of the members of the Black Spades, Africa Bombata. In 73, we had Kool Herc start the Cedric parties, which again kind of ignited that spark to create this culture we called hip hop. It was a unity between New York City gangs and youth that birthed the voice of hip hop in a city where the youth were growing up on fire. The whole city was on fire, and literally the Bronx was burning. I always felt like hip hop was always inclusive. Like, we can get everybody together: brown, Latino, white, Asian, doesn't matter. As long as you came to have fun and party, you was there. I mean, years later, you had the DMCs, which is a DJing competition international, created by the Disco Mix Club in 1985. Then a couple of years later, in the 1990s, we had Battle of the Year, a breakdancing b-boy, b-girl competition, again, international, with teams from all over the world: Japan, India, Russia, France. Do America and even South America. This was started by Thomas Hergenrother in Germany and has since blown up. So my question for the panel is hip hop inclusive or exclusive? How do you feel about that, Mr. O?
I don't know. I just stick myself wherever it's music. You know what I mean?
I feel you.
Whatever's
Like,
good.
yeah, whatever's good. I'm not looking at who's in it. You know, I'm feeling it.
I mean,
You know,
but do you feel like there is like some dues or a quota that has to be paid before somebody can say
nah,
or
not to
lift up
not
the
for me.
mantle? Not for you.
Not for me. Not for me.
How you guys? How about Echo Black there, bro? How do you feel about that?
Is hip hop inclusive or exclusive? Hip hop has throughout his history intentionally been its intentions have been to be inclusive,
I was just gonna say that as well.
Okay.
and I think that you mentioned the name Africa Bambaataa. The hip hop community has pretty much this own Africa Bambaataa due to the sexual abuse allegation.
Yeah.
But Africa Bambaataa did that with the Zulu Nation in the '90s, where he made a pretty much a not a gang, but an organization that was known to be um, built by foundational Black folks. He decided to let Puerto Ricans in, Dominicans in. Now everybody could be a part of Zulu Nation. That really did a lot for hip hop culture in its own.
Okay.
Um, um, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that, and I don't want to go too much deeper into that. I want to get classical thoughts on everything, but of course it goes deeper than that. But I think to answer your question, I think yes, hip hop has been inclusive, and its intentions has always been to be inclusive.
Yeah, I think the same. I mean, I look at stuff like graffiti and breakdancing. There were a lot of Puerto Ricans in that, and I feel like it's always been inclusive so long as you had talent. Maybe today anybody could hop on YouTube and make music and call it hip hop, but back then, if you were around the right people and you had talent and people respected your work, it didn't matter where you came from as long as you put in the work and people, you were included in it. So yeah, I go beyond just music. I look at things like graffiti and breakdancing to be big.
But that's what I mean. It's not just the rap; it's the DJing. Not just the DJs who produce music, but produce for rappers, but those who are in competitions. Guys like DJ Qbert who put out albums of their mixing, and it's phenomenal. We also have the B-boy, the breakdancing, where again, when I got introduced to Battle of the Year, I was amazed to see North Korea and South Korea have breakdancing crews. You know what I'm saying? The graffiti movement, of course, engulfed the whole planet. Where in South America, in Brazil, you got guys going into tunnels doing these beautiful mosaics. You know what I'm saying? I call them the Van Goghs and the Rembrandts with a spray can of our generations. But I also see a lot of people saying like, oh, Latinos didn't have anything to do with this. Some white boys can't come in. Some Asians are appropriating the culture. Now,
those are ignorant people.
I mean, at the
But
same
you're always
time,
gonna get that. So
yeah. The whole
unfortunately,
question is who says who can get accepted, who can't.
That's a great question. I think what we're also seeing is a bit of the renaissance of the Black foundational Black Americans, which is why this topic became a topic in the first place. I think foundational Black Americans were trying to protect something that they could see that could potentially be robbed of them, just like rock and roll, or just like jazz, right?
Yeah.
And so I think it became a trend within the foundational Black Americans. Some, not all of them, but some of them who were older, who brought it to the front and said, "Yo, you know what? Puerto Ricans didn't help invent hip hop. That was all us. I think
Yeah.
it comes from a place of like, yo, this is our stuff, and
Mhm.
we don't want it to be tarnished and have the history books rewritten and say that it was not created by us. Uh, but from the way I see it, I'm not a foundational Black American myself. I'm not, but from what I've seen it, those same people who they say are not part or weren't part of the beginnings or the roots of hip hop. There was never a time where I didn't see those folks. So,
Yeah.
it's a great question to say who says
Yeah.
says
Who says?
it's a question, but hip hop never established anything anyway. So
Yeah.
so I guess it's trying to establish that now. But if it wasn't established in the '70s, then it's hard. It doesn't have a government. It doesn't have a governing body. If you want to
Yeah.
have that kind of
Yeah.
system,
Because-
it says, "Yo, you can't come in." You have to establish that kind of stuff from the beginning.
Yeah, but from what I know, Latinos have always been at the root of what's hip hop, especially with along with the black community. Your breakdancing, you had a lot of Latinos in there.
Yeah,
I'm not going to be specific. I'm not going to say one. I'm just going to leave it open to Latinos. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because there was even Latino DJs who were spinning a lot of this stuff too.
Yeah.
They
Yep.
very much from what I got, and looking at the history of New York in the 70s and then leading up to the creation of hip hop, you had a lot. It was basically all these gangs, and a lot of these gangs were mixed. You had black kids, like the Ghetto Brothers. Their peacemaker was Cornell Benjamin, young black man. Some of the top leaders of the Ghetto Brothers were Puerto Rican. I think one or two might have been Dominican, but the mixing. And again, even with the graffiti, I met a lot of white boys from back then who were very influential in graffiti. But my question is, and I've seen a lot of the older folks saying, no. It was a group effort. Yes, it is a black music. And like you say, the rock, as per rock, and it was done with rock and roll, which they used to call it race music, and then years later, at one point you had Macklemore and Iggy Azalea as the king and queen of hip hop. That I was like, whoa. Who said that, what they're doing is, what was created? And I get that. Why wouldn't black people who helped create it not say, wait a minute, who allowed these two to come in, and let's see the content of their work. Is it what we try to create? Is it what we try to put forward? Or is it a gimmick, a product to just make $1? How do y'all feel about that?
Right.
As opposed to like Eminem, Everlast, or even MC Search with Third Base, or even the Beastie Boys. What separates those two,
Well, what separates those two kind of artists, if that's your question, and I guess what you're trying to say is, are you trying to say like what's how, if you're coming from the outside in, if you are a visitor of hip hop, like, do we measure your success by how real you're keeping it or how true to hip hop you are compared to those who are not?
Yeah, compared to the product, the authenticity compared to a product, to a gimmick, to something that's commercialized.
Oh,
The difference between your mom cooking you a home cooked meal and you getting that fast food.
So you're saying basically the difference between, let's say, Eminem and then Vanilla Ice. Vanilla Ice was okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, I think that's been lost. Hip hop has lost the control to have that say that, oh, Vanilla Ice is not going to get in and Eminem is.
Yeah.
It lost it to the record labels. So, once it became a business, that part of that aspect of controlling the culture and making sure that only true hip hop heads get in, that was lost a long time ago. I mean, you could even say that let's not even let's talk about other black artists who people were against, like MC Hammer.
Yeah.
Like somebody would come out like right now, like MC Hammer with the shiny suits and the entertainment and all of that, and been labeled an incredible artist, right? But But hip hop was really against MC Hammer when he came out. Like it was like, no, this is not what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But it became, it eventually was
commercialized.
It eventually was commercialized, and it became okay in hip hop culture now to be commercial. So hip hop lost the battle in trying to keep hip hop such a sacred, down to earth, super, cultural thing. It lost that. Now it still has its underground. It still has its true people. It still has.
But now it's globalized, bro.
Before
the minute y'all let a Canadian become a hip hop legend.
You know what I mean? Because, like, let's say in South America, at least, I know a lot of Red Bull competitions that hit, Latin America for breakdancing, and they are amazing. And even
rapping too.
Even the twins from Europe.
The Les twins. Yes,
bro,
the Les twins.
They are at a different level.
Yes, I mean for me.
Breakdancing, bro.
The Les twins. Yes.
Can't forget about Japan, though, bro.
No. Japan. What I like about Japan is they do that group stuff. They're very synchronized. You know what I mean? But you got to see the LES twins,
bro.
The LES twins.
Is that the French team would cause a problem for the LES twins?
Listen,
especially my man Monkey with them 7-foot backflips that he does, amazing. But my thing is, it got to a point where when hip hop was growing, the commercial world said, "Oh, this is a fad. It's a fashion statement. It's not gonna last." But once it passed that 10th year, you saw the commercialization of it. You had your MC Hammers, you had your Will Smiths, you had
Vanilla Ices.
Yeah, Vanilla Ices. What was that guy who did Bust a Move? You had him.
Young MC.
Yes, Young MC.
You had MC now because he old as us.
He ain't young no more.
Old MC.
Old ass MC. But anyway, you had that really kind of like take a lot away from the rubble, the fire, the asbestos and lead that it came from the Bronx. Like Echo said, that earthly essence where it originated from.
But you know what?
It was made out of nothing, something out of nothing, and it was beautiful. And to me, this is why I ask, is it really inclusive or is it exclusive? And who controls that? Who controls the gate? Especially now, how much does social media influence this?
Too much.
Okay.
All that. Too much.
It's that I think we spoke about that before. Social media, it's what's determining who gets hot and who does not. So if social media isn't talking about you, you're not hot. If they are, you're hot. You know what I mean? But our generation, I think, had a lot to do with that change.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
So?
Okay. When, let's say, mid-90s, we were able to just like mix. You could mix with different people and still be copacetic. You know what I mean? We didn't segregate. Like, oh no, you're not Latino. No, you're Asian, whatever. Yo, I remember going to high school and we was just everybody. And if you were able to kick a rhyme right there, a freestyle, yo, if you did good, you did good. If you were whack, you were whack. You know what I mean? Our generation kind of opened the door to where if it was hip hop, it was hip hop. And as long as it was hip hop and not some nonsense, we accepted the person. Yeah. It wasn't like, we didn't really look at skin color.
Yeah. But that's the issue now. It's our generation saying that hip hop should exclude certain cultural groups from the history of hip hop.
Now. now
So
because they're not even doing it anymore. And now they're like mad that other people are doing it instead of guiding the youth to have hip hop the way it was. It's almost like
or the
here's
way
the
it is,
reins, free
yeah,
reins.
or keep it the way
It's
it
what
is. At the end of the day, look, we talk about social media and talk about how social media could be detrimental to the culture and everything. But what I'm saying with the foundational Black Americans who are trying to exclude certain cultural groups from hip hop's history, I don't see y'all on the Instagram putting people on
exactly.
great beats. I don't see y'all preserving the culture. I don't see y'all letting us know what the real hip hop albums are coming out or
Yeah,
reviewing certain dope hip hop albums that are still coming out from some of our legends and some of the people that we love.
yeah,
Mhm.
facts.
What I
I
see
know somebody.
when I see
You
when I see
No,
hold on, what I see when I
echo, echo.
Let him
what
finish, yo. Let him
no, I'm
finish.
just
Go ahead,
saying
brother.
you.
yeah, no
Yo,
doubt. But what I'm saying is what I see when I go on Instagram. I appreciate the classical. I got that. When I see when I go to Instagram, is a whole bunch of blanquitos. You understand me? Talk about boom bap, best boom bap albums of the '90s. It'd be some Valley Girl,
yeah,
Yeah,
reviewing dope joints from the '90s. Or
yeah,
white kid talk about, hey man, these are the most obscure samples that have been used in hip hop.
yeah,
There are, why are we not letting our youth know that we're putting them on and having our youth make content like that, or having the older cats that are talking all this stuff and trying to come up with these governing laws now? Why we don't see y'all on the Instagram
yeah,
putting people on to the music that y'all created?
yeah,
No, I
yeah,
go on there, it'd be Chad, it'd be Joshua, talk about, hey man, these are the
yeah,
dope cuts from the '90s.
yeah,
MOP. And it's like, oh, okay, now you know what I'm saying? So don't be no can nobody come to me. I'm gonna let y'all know that right now. Can nobody come to me and tell me that I'm not a part of this culture, regardless. You
yeah,
can't
yeah.
tell me. I
No
don't care
doubt,
who
no
I don't
doubt.
care. I
And I
don't
could
care if
vouch for
you
that.
Grandmaster Flash. I don't care if you Grandmaster Flash telling me
Yeah,
that.
I could vouch for
Yeah.
that. I
At
could
the end
vouch
of
for
the
that.
day. So
But this subject is a deep subject. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Which we would actually have to cut it up in a few series and stuff like
Oh
that. You
no,
know what I
it
mean?
would have to be in the four
Because this is,
elements.
yeah,
It
you know what
would.
I mean?
but close it out. Was that your last question? What
Oh
else?
no, no. Basically I had one more question to ask y'all, but it has to do with the social media influence. Like you were saying, Echo. Yes, there is more people that don't look like Black America still putting people on to what was going on before that foundation that started it all. And it's true, you are correct. We should be putting more of that stuff out and reminding the youth this is where it came from. Doesn't matter what skin color you are, doesn't matter, what's your background, because I've met a lot of different people who have basically made the culture beautiful. You know, I guess that's always going to be the debate is who who wants in and what does that mean for them when they get in? What does that really mean? Do you try to keep it real or do you try to like take it out of its form? Like some people have throughout the years, you know. But just to close it out, man, in my opinion, I feel that hip hop is inclusive. If you keep it real and you contributing in a positive way, in a positive manner, to show where it came from, where it's at, and where it can go in a positive way, I think you welcome you with open arms. You know what I'm saying? But I guess this conversation is gonna keep going on because, like you said, I when I first started and I had the idea, I didn't realize how deep it can really go, especially with the four elements,
Yeah,
especially with the cultures that we grew up around, and
definitely,
our own Latin American culture, our own Dominican
definitely.
culture, and what it has provided.
Word.
But until next time, you know what I'm saying? This is Mr. Misunderstood signing out with the What the Fuck TV. Oh, and for all the viewers, like, share, subscribe, and please leave your comments.
Leave a
Feel
comment.
free to join in. All
You know,
right,
Yeah,
y'all.
facts.
do something.
Do something.
We're gonna put a little spin on it. You know what I mean? So let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
¿Tú crees que es así? Eso no es así. ¿Tú crees que es así? Eso no es así. Eso está muy liado para ser así. ¿Tú crees que es así? Eso no es así. Eso está muy liado para ser así. Lo siento, mami, pero eso no es así. ¿Tú crees que es así, muchacha? ¿Tú crees que es así? Eso no es así. Eso está muy liado para ser así.
Se fue la luz.
Pam, pam.
Ya llegó.
Mira quién está aquí. Bienvenido.
El
Bienvenido.
campeón.
El campeón, señores. Ganaron los Knicks.
¡Epa!
Primero, bienvenido a otro programa de los clásicos de RD. Yo soy Jonathan el Clásico, con el panel de fanáticos de los Knicks, menos uno.
Oh, pero no lo digas así tampoco, es que lo fue.
No, pero ganamos el campeonato y eso es lo más importante. Así que no hay que decirlo en español también, ¿qué fue? Oh,
Nueva York.
Nueva York está gozando. La parada es el jueves. Mi hermana me dijo, si tú quieres, yo te mando video de la parada para que lo suba a tu página o para el programa. Así que voy a ver si le pido que me grabe un poquito para ponerlo la semana que viene, si se puede.
No,
si se
no me
permite.
haga. Nosotros tenemos un programa especial para eso, si quieren.
Es verdad.
Lo podemos hacer.
Esa parada va a estar lo máximo.
¿A qué hora es la parada?
A las 9 de la mañana.
Es verdad.
Bueno,
Fresco.
déjame ver si tengo reunión y si no.
Oiga, el que quiere ir para eso tiene que pararse allá a las 5 de la madrugada.
A las 5 y pico, exacto.
Porque eso va a
9.
estar encendido.
No, es verdad, sí.
Se lo digo.
9 de la mañana. Bueno, vamos a ver. Señores, hoy quiero hablar un poquito de el Zafiro Carlos Manuel.
Pepe.
En particular, porque tuvimos uno de nuestros seguidores que me dijo, el Zafiro es de lo mío. Y yo dije, qué buena idea para hablar un poquito sobre el Zafiro. Quiero hablar un poquito de él y voy a hacer mi top 10 hoy de los éxitos del Zafiro. Quiero hablar un poquito primero de una biografía. Obviamente ustedes saben que se llaman Carlos Manuel el Zafiro, pero él nació Ramón Elpidio Jiménez Lara. Lora, perdón, ese es el apellido, Lora. Ramón Elpidio Jiménez Lora. Pero él dice, según una entrevista que yo vi, él dice, no, ese nombre nadie me conoce por ese nombre, a mí me conocen por Carlos Manuel Jiménez. Él dice que así es que lo conocen, pero obviamente nosotros como artistas lo conocemos como Carlos Manuel el Zafiro. Tremendo cantautor dominicano. Ustedes saben que él tiene ese tema que se llama Yo soy el cantante del amor, y a él se le refiere como el cantante del amor. Pero un poquito de datos. Él empezó a temprana edad, cuando él nació en el sector de San Carlos, en Santo Domingo, República Dominicana. Él inició cantando baladas y boleros hasta que un día se juntó con Bonnie Cepeda, lo vio cantando, el famoso Bonnie Cepeda, el maestro Bonnie Cepeda. Lo vio cantando y lo invitó a una banda o un grupo que tenían que se llamaban Los Monjes. Ahí fue que lo invitó a cantar con él y en el 1975 forman un grupo que se llama la Gran Orquesta, que ahí está Carlos Manuel El Zafiro como cantante principal de la orquesta. Luego en los 80s él inicia en como solista, y obviamente en su primero, yo diría los primeros 4 o 5 grabaciones, el Zafiro empezó a escribir canciones, y como ustedes saben, esos eran unos temas que en poco lo voy a compartir, una cosa del otro mundo, de verdad. Para mí, uno de los mejores intérpretes, yo diría en mi top 10 de intérpretes de la República Dominicana está Carlos Manuel El Zafiro. Obviamente ustedes saben que después de los 90, cuando hubo esa baja de cantantes románticos, El Zafiro cayó en vicios y tuvo sus momentos viviendo en Nueva York, donde cayó en mala. Pero gracias a Dios, al día de hoy, él todavía reside en los Estados Unidos. Tengo entendido que reside en la Florida, pero él hace giras y todavía canta y está saludable y sano, gracias a Dios. Así con eso quiero invitarlos a todos para que iniciemos lo que hacemos cada semana, que es los top 10 del clásico. Y esta semana vámonos con Carlos Manuel El Zafiro. Maestro, ¿estás ready? ¿Necesita tiempo para prepararnos?
Ready.
Y ahora iniciamos con el número 10. Adelante.
Deseos de estar junto a ti, mi amor. Quiero sentir en tus brazos todo tu calor. Ámame, no esperes a mañana, porque te necesito ahora y cada día más. Ámame. Más demora.
¿Qué pasó ahí? ¿Se paró la maquinita?
Se paró.
Se paró ahí. Bueno, nos fuimos con eso. Señores, yo quiero hacer un pequeño paréntesis. Yo siempre he dicho que para mí el mejor cantante de la República Dominicana, para mí, es Alex Bueno. Pero algo que yo de verdad admiro mucho del Zafiro es, no solamente es un buen intérprete, pero la mayoría de las canciones que yo voy a introducir hoy en mi top 10 son composiciones de él. Bien pocos cantantes con el talento del Zafiro pueden decir que también son compositores de sus temas. Así que la mayoría de los temas que vamos a escuchar hoy son composiciones de él y arreglos de diferentes, de Bonnie Cepeda o de Daris Contreras, que luego fue el pianista y el líder del grupo Sin Fronteras. Yo no sé si ustedes recuerdan ese grupito.
Sin Fronteras.
Un cuarteto Sin Fronteras. Pero seguimos. Ese es el tema Ámame, que salió en el 1984. Y ahora vamos con el número 9.
Si quieres volver, amor mío, a estar conmigo, no te quedes callada, por favor, dímelo. Sé que quieres volver, lo leo en tu mirada. No te demores, todo no será perdido, porque también necesito de ti, al igual que tú necesitas de mí, porque también necesito de ti, al igual que tú necesitas de mí, mi amor. Si quieres volver a estar conmigo, no te quedes callada, dímelo otra vez. Si quieres volver conmigo, no te quedes callada, mi amor, dímelo otra vez.
Ahí tienen el número 9, Si quieres volver.
Máximo.
1986. Imagínate, la mayoría, como te dije, la mayoría de los temas son composiciones de él y otro palo. Ahora vámonos con el número 8. Adelante.
Ya no sé cómo decirte cuánto te quiero. Ya no sé cómo explicarme que sin ti me muero. Que eres mi alma y toda mi vida. Que si me dejas me moriría. Porque te quiero y siempre he sido tuyo. Te amo tanto.
Epa.
Pero ahí también.
¿Qué es lo que está pasando? ¿Se fue la luz otra vez?
Se fue la
Pero
luz.
no, pero ahí.
Se fue la luz. Señores, disculpen, la tecnología a veces tiene sus hipos, como decimos nosotros. Así que continuamos. Maestro, vámonos con el número 7, cuando se pueda.
A nadie le importa si tú me gustas o si te quiero. A nadie le importa si te invito a bailar, piensa en otra cosa. Porque soy popular, mi vida quiero llevar y aguantado bastante. Porque donde quiera que voy, soy como soy. Me olvido de ser el cantante. Que tú estés conmigo, si quieres besarme, si quieres quererme. A nadie le importa,
Una voz.
vivo a mi manera. Si soy como soy, si mis besos te doy, o si tú me das.
Paro ahí otra vez.
Sí.
Cuidado si fui yo. Señores, fui yo. Tengo que coger responsabilidad de las grabaciones. Cuidado si fue un virus que se me dio a la vaina mía. Pero anyway. De todos modos, señores. ¿Cómo fue?
No, que fue el AI.
No, oye, pero sonó raro cuando dije, fue un virus que me dio la vaina. Cuidado.
Ten cuidado.
Señores, es que para mí es inmenso. El nombre del Zafiro, dice el Zafiro que él sacó ese nombre que estaba leyendo una telenovela revista y vio ese nombre y dijo, como es un diamante, él dijo, yo quiero ser una estrella porque desde chiquito cantaba y se pegó ese nombre, el Zafiro. Así que ese tipo tiene, en esos tiempos, imagínate, con el pecho abierto, todo moñú, parecía un brillo, pero el tipo era con
la cadenita de oro, ese gorrito.
como 15 cadenitas ese tipo se ponía. Así que hay que darle su crédito. Maestro, vámonos con el número 6, a ver si esta no se para.
Hey.
Pause.
No me pagues con cheque, no lo voy a aceptar. Pues si no tienes fondo preso puede quedar. Yo no quiero problema, no quiero discusión. Págame en efectivo o te meto a prisión.
No me pagues con cheque,
Sí.
no me pagues con cheque,
¿Por qué?
no me pagues con cheque, preso va para ahí, no me pagues con cheque,
Sí.
no me pagues con cheque,
¿Por qué?
no me pagues con cheque, preso va para ahí.
Como me gusta. Tócame así. Joder.
Vamos a lo efectivo.
¿Qué más? Por el cheque.
Oye, no, yo lo que me río es
Efectivo.
Ese fue tu.
bien pocas veces tú ves el Zafiro cantando una canción jocosa así.
Sí.
O alguien no le pagó y le pagó con un cheque malo, o algo sucedió, pero él siempre está cantando música romántica para las damas.
Sí.
Así que verlo cantar un tema así como el cheque, para mí es interesante. Vámonos con el número 5.
Llora, corazón, corazón, llora,
Mira la cadenita ahí.
llora, corazón,
Muy grande.
corazón, llora. Cuando llora el corazón es porque lo han traicionado, el cariño le han robado. Pobrecito corazón. sufrir. Te tiraré con duele. Yo sé bien que tú la quieres y ella no te quiere a ti. Llora, corazón, corazón, llora. ¡Zafiro!
Oye, ahí yo diría que el grupo americano Run DMC le debe dinero al Zafiro porque él fue que inició esa vaina con la cadena grande. Sí, sí. Pero una cosa grande, ¿tú la viste ahí? Pero uno de mis temas favoritos, Llora Corazón, del Zafiro. Es el número 5, maestro. Vámonos con el número 4.
Top 5,
llegamos.
Señora, me gusta usted lo bastante. Paso por su casa adelante para verla un instante. Señora, señora, siento que la quiero. Me paso los días enteros pensando de cómo acercarme a usted. Señora, aunque usted no lo crea, aunque piense que mienta, verá.
Hey, dos cosas con ese video. O el Kelly, el que le hizo el Kelly al tipo, lo hizo malísimo.
Eso fue un relambío. Eso fue un relambío.
No fue relajado.
Un crackcito que se echó Zafiro ahí.
Un juguito se puso. No, fíjate, ese video fue ya terminándose los 90s. Es posible que en ese tiempo ya el Zafiro estaba como un poquito en baja.
Los Michael Jackson.
Y ya no tenía ese swing como en los primeros videos que habíamos visto anteriormente. Ahí tenemos Señora. Vámonos ahora con el número 3.
Felicidades por habernos roto el corazón en 1000 pedazos. Felicidades por jugar al juego del amor y hacernos daño. Felicidades por jugar con nuestro orgullo con tanta frialdad. Felicidades, que solo una mirada vuestra nos hace soñar. Copa a copa, mano a mano, ese brindis va por ella. Nos hicieron sus esclavos y nos gustan sus cadenas. Seguiremos adelante con el viento y la marea, el dolor de sus desaires quiere menos que perderla. ¡Llévala!
Felicidades. Uno de mis favoritos temas del Zafiro. Un dato en especial. Eso fue la presentación.
Felicidades
fue
a todos los padres. El día del padre que viene por ahí. Felicidades.
También. Sí, ¿verdad? No, pero esa presentación fue en el Madison Square Garden en el año 1986, cuando había lo que se llama el Carnaval del Merengue. Esa noche ahí
sí.
estaba, ¿quién puedo mencionar? Johnny Ventura,
Wilfrido.
No, Wilfrido no estaba. Estaba Johnny,
no
estaba Fernando Villalona, estaba Rasputín,
Diablo, sí.
estaba el amiguito, Jochi Hernández, estaba Ray Polanco, estaba Aníbal Bravo, muchísimos grupos en esa noche. Está disponible en YouTube el que lo quiera ver, pero si lo busca bajo el Carnaval del Merengue en 1986.
Sí, eso sí,
otro temazo.
Yeah.
Señores, nos quedan 2. Vámonos con el número 2, maestro. Ahí que vamos a gozar. Con calma.
Mi cantao es un lamento. Ay, porque estoy enamorado y no soy correspondido. Destrozado estoy por dentro.
Ay, no sé qué hacer, ay, no sé qué hacer. Vivo enamorado de tu querer. Ay, no sé qué hacer, ay, no sé qué hacer. Vivo enamorado de tu querer. Sin ti no quiero la vida. Sin ti mi vida es un dolor. Todos me pueden dejar y soy feliz y me quedo con tu amor. Todos me pueden dejar y soy feliz y me quedo con tu amor. Ay, no sé qué hacer, ay, no sé qué hacer. Vivo enamorado de tu querer.
Huepa.
Tuve que editarlo así porque obviamente si pongo la canción completa a veces no bloquean.
No, estaba bien.
Pero ese intro al principio, mi canta, ay Dios mío, pero qué cosa. El que no los, me imagino que ustedes todos lo saben, pero Romeo Santos sacó un álbum, no, creo que fue el año pasado, y tenía una invitada que cantó esa misma parte en una bachata, y el crédito se lo dieron al Zafiro, que fue que escribió esa canción.
Wow.
Ese intro donde él canta como a capela, una cosa
Como
del
un
otro
gitano.
mundo.
Sí, pero quería
Buena.
agregar
Dil.
ese el
Estilo.
estilo gitano que él usó. Y como él juega con la voz, con el disonante, ¿tú sabes lo que es difícil controlar un disonante?
Oh.
Because él no está en la melodía, él, ¿cómo es la palabra? Bueno, él hace un disonante que no es como va la melodía, pero súper difícil, porque si no uno se suena como si se desafinó.
Pero el tipo lo logró.
Yeah.
Eso estilo como los Gypsy King, algo así.
Los gitanos.
Casi como ópera, como una ópera.
No,
Pero
no,
mezcla. Te estoy
es
diciendo
más como cantan los árabes, ese estilo de...
Oh,
Yeah.
Pero yo he oído mucha gente que cantan ópera que hacen eso. Pero como él lo hizo, él le puso ese sabor gitano a eso.
Yeah.
como
Eso
a lo
fue.
árabe. Ya entiendo.
Ajá, tú me entiendes, no como lo italiano, pero tú ves.
Y mira, él dijo en una entrevista que él hizo, él dijo, yo hice eso a propósito porque era bien importante en esos tiempos que cada artista tenga su estilo diferente.
Yeah.
Johnny Ventura tenía el de él, Wilfrido el de él, fulano el de él, y él quería tener su estilo diferente, y por eso es que le dicen el cantante del amor. Y con eso hemos llegado al número 1. Maestro, adelante con el número 1.
Yo soy quien dice verdad de mi corazón. Por amor escribo una bella canción. Y por amor mi alma se llena de ilusión.
Es el Festival de Merengue también, ¿verdad?
Ese mismo, sí. Ese fue el Festival del Merengue. Otro temazo, para mí el mejor que me gusta. A mí me gustan muchísimas canciones de Zafiro, pero el cantante del amor para mí es el mejor. Y el cantante del amor es un ícono de la República Dominicana, y por eso quise hablar hoy un poco de lo que se llama Carlos Manuel el Zafiro. Espero que lo disfrutaron mucho. Espérate. Por favor, no, siéntese. No, siéntese. Señores, sigan compartiendo nuestro contenido, sigan apoyando este proyecto. Tenemos muchas cosas buenas y aquí se gasta mucho tiempo poniéndole sabor a este programa, desde el inicio hasta el último programa que tenemos en este network. De verdad, pedimos sus apoyos. No apoyo, pero si quieren mandar apoyo, sí. Pero su apoyo se agradece mucho. Denle like, suscríbanse y dejen comentarios, que esa es la única manera que se va a ganar unos chelitos. Así que con eso me despido hasta la próxima semana. Que la pasen bien y que espero que lo disfrutaron hoy. Yeah. Se despide el clásico.
All right. Vamos a coger un brequecito ahí y ya volvemos, muchachos.
We'll be back.
Hurry up and vibe.
Hurry up and vibe. Yo, we outside going on a ride. Yo, all up in the yeah, we coming live. This is how we do it. Going for a dive, but it's not the pool and it's not the ocean. Exactly pretty motion.
I wasn't ready for that.
Everybody out there in the internets, welcome to another What the Fuck TV show. And hurry up and vibe segment. Yo, man, it's been a great week. I hope everybody's had a great week. Big shout to the Knicks. I ain't got a Knicks hat on, but this does say New York City representing. You know what I'm saying?
I like that hat, by the way.
I appreciate it, man. You know what I mean? I was like, yo, everybody got a hat on but me. Let me not be, you know what I mean? You know, I was like, yo, is hat wearing inclusive? You know what I'm saying? I was like,
I hope so.
You got to hurry up and vibe.
Bro, you gotta hurry up and vibe. B, you from the BX? You know how I know how you do.
BX in the building. Speaking of BX, speaking of hip hop, big shout first and foremost. Big shout to my man, Mr. Misunderstood. He had a segment earlier. It was an incredible topic. We spoke about hip hop being inclusive or exclusive in this day and age, and what does that mean? And I guess my topic for my little segment, I'm not gonna keep y'all too long. I kind of wanted to expound on that. You know, I wanted to first give a shout out to Wu-Tang Clan, the entire Wu, man, probably the illest group to come out of New York. Let's just keep it fun.
Yeah.
Big shout to Tribe, big shout to De La, but it's just different, right? They performed at the Knicks halftime show in the game that they came back from a 29-point deficit. And after that, very cool that Method Man at the end of the performance said Knicks in 5. Even that's when they were down by like 20.
Yeah, man.
So big shout to the Wu, and big shout to them because they also got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for the 2026 class or inductees. So big shout to them. But as I was thinking about it, I was like, man, you know, another hip hop group, you know, inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It brought up the question in my mind: should hip hop have its own Hall of Fame? I mean, you know, why not? Or why yes and why not? At this point, hip hop is older than 50 years old, but it's arguably the most influential music genre in the world, bro. We're not gonna argue that. It's generated billions of revenue, shaped fashion, language, sports, politics, whatever you, it's just an entire culture. But when we talk
globally.
about music immortality, uh, many of hip hop's greatest artists, the ones that we consider legends, are inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which has obviously been established for a while now. Um, but it does belong to a different genre. So the question is, does hip hop need its own Hall of Fame, or does it, you know, does it being recognized by institutions outside of the culture, does that diminish hip hop? Does it diminish hip hop's independency and legacy? So I wanted to talk about that. Should hip hop rely on institutions created by other genres for validation? And what would a hip hop Hall of Fame even look like? Like who will be like who will set that up? You know what I'm saying? Um, I always love this panel because I know some of us are crazy hip hop heads. Some of us are hip hop heads, but are not as deep into it as some others. And my man O loves hip hop, but he's not like truly into every crumb of hip hop culture. So I wanted to set I wanted to set the conversation up and ask you guys, you know, should hip hop have its own Hall of Fame? Does it need a couple of more decades to get there first? Like, what do you guys think about hip hop having its own hip hop Hall of Fame?
I think they should have been had its Hall of
A
Fame
long time ago.
a long time ago.
Okay. Okay.
You know what I mean? What was the last thing that community had? The BET Awards, and I think that kind of went to the wayside.
No.
Well,
I mean, they
rap-
still have that.
the
They
BET
still
Hip
have the
Hop
BET
Awards.
Award.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
hip hop awards.
Well,
We've had Source Awards. We've had Double XL. We've had a whole bunch of
then we
awards.
need
As far as Black culture, they've always had their own award show. But I was more, talking about hip hop exclusively.
and that's what I'm saying. If we
A Hall
have
of
those
Fame?
awards, there should be a Hall of Fame.
Yeah, there really should. There should have been a hip hop Hall of Fame. I mean, VH1 tried to do hip hop honors, and that vanished as quickly as it came because again, I don't think it was. I mean, I don't think that was based on a Hall of Fame, a place where we can go and see the history and be immersed in the culture in one center.
Mhm.
I think that it should have been created already.
Plaska, what
I
you think?
mean, it's first of all, one of your questions was, does it diminish that it's being recognized in other genres? I think it's cool because it talks about how hip hop has transcended to other genres, meaning that it's being recognized by it. But at the
Right.
same time, I'm with the rest of the panel, man. This should have been done a long time ago. If we wait anymore, there's not going to be any hip hop for us to be celebrating because
To give
kind of music, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
It needs that type of a home. It does.
right.
I mean,
Right. Um,
for me, I have to quote Chuck D and what he said when he got nominated, and him and Public Enemy. He said, we all come from the blues. Hip hop comes from the blues just as rock and roll comes from the blues. That's why it's kind of like, I guess, okay to have hip hop acts that have influenced just as much as any rock group to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But again, to have an institution that people can actually physically go to and learn, where we could take youngins and be like, look, this is your field trip for the day. You're going through this building, and this building is going to teach you where this came from. Because, yeah, man, it needs it. It does.
And to follow up on that, that was one of the questions that I wanted to get into as far as like, but does hip hop need validation from other genres? I mean, to your point, which is a great point in quoting Chuck D, where you have genres that are probably inspired by older genres, and they have a foundation from a genre that's probably totally different from the one that it created. Is it time now for like hip hop to branch out on its own, being that it's such it's impacted the way it has, Or so does hip hop need validation from other genres? I mean, like, if you guys think that's cool, it's cool. I just want to get your thoughts on, like,
Nah,
does it need it?
No,
no.
I don't think it.
no.
I don't think it needs it,
Uh-huh.
but I'm just saying that it's cool that it's recognized.
Right.
And at the same time, you don't want to diminish the previous winners of these awards by saying, "Oh yeah, we got our own stuff. We're not really focused on that." Obviously, the fact that these people's names are mentioned and nominated is something that needs to be commended and celebrated.
Yeah.
However, I think you put a panel together of guys like Chuck D, the dudes from Run DMC. I don't know, these hip hop pioneers. You put a committee together and you ask the question, how do we go about this? Well, you put together the founding fathers of this, the ones that are still around.
I will stop. Hold on, let me stop you right there, because I'm gonna come back with that.
Okay.
Does hip hop need validation from these other genres, or can it stand on its own and create?
It could stand on its own.
Platform?
For me, I think they could stand on their own, but it's going to take a lot of responsibility, which nobody wants to take.
Okay.
It seems like nobody wants to.
I misunderstood.
Yeah.
I know you touched on this a little bit, but, like, just kind of get into the question of, does it need it? I know you said it might benefit from it, but at this point, hip hop being as old as it is and being as established as it is, does it need validation from a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, or can it stand on its own? And would it be a good time for that right now?
I mean, right now, to me, the time was 10, 15 years ago.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? To me, no, it doesn't need validation, because the people who have developed this sound, this idea, this concept, they took a lot from rock and roll. They took a lot from all these other places, but it made its own sound.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you look at heavy metal, you can't put it in with rock and roll. You look at reggae, you can't put it in with rock and roll. It's cool that the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, where it's more of the American Music Society, accepts you, because you've made a mark.
Right.
But hip hop made its mark.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So validation from another genre, no, because we don't need anybody else. You don't need anybody else to tell you should do this or you should do it this way. You should go. We already have. It's already been established.
Word. I'm with you on that. I agree with all you guys. I mean, I would argue that hip hop has earned enough cultural influence to define its own standards and define its own greatness and be its own giant. It has been. So I know I cut Classico off because he was leading into something that I wanted to follow up on. And as we all agree that hip hop can and should have its own hip hop Hall of Fame, its own institution where you can learn about the origins and you can learn about where it's going and you can learn about their legends. Each of you, I want to go across the board, so you could give me a little bit of your imagination. What would a hip hop Hall of Fame look like? If we created a hip hop Hall of Fame tomorrow, how would we do it? Should it mirror the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? How would it break down? I have a bit of a breakdown, but I want to get you guys to kind of go in your brain a little bit. And
I'll simplify mine quickly so the next person could go. But I'm thinking an arena or a big building somewhere in New York City. Definitely has to be in New York. And then where you also have a stage, and you guys have festivals there. You have obviously your awards, and you have a history. People can go visit and say, let's go visit the Hip Hop Museum or the Hip Hop Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame.
And maybe these young kids can get influenced. They walk in and they're listening to, De La Soul playing from the 90s, and maybe, yo, that's dope. Who's that? Things like that. That's you asked for like a little bit of an imagination of how it would be. That's where I'm going.
Dope.
Yeah. Because the way okay.
What would a hip hop Hall of Fame look like? How would it look like in your mind?
In my mind, it would look like 5 Points. I don't know if y'all ever got to go to 5 Points. Yeah, well, no, it was in Queens. It was basically, I believe it was Lady Pink who started it, which was basically a museum for graffiti. It would look like that. You would go inside and you would see old linoleum.
But hold on, because 5 Points was an outdoor thing. So you're saying
no, it was outdoor and indoor.
Okay.
It was because it featured a lot of graffiti artists' work.
Right.
Like I said, somewhere there you have a piece of linoleum with some shell toes, maybe a couple of mannequins with the fly suits that everybody was rocking back then, little images and pieces of this culture that has been around for so long and has influenced the globe, not just America, the whole entire globe. You have to add that because there's also the pieces of every other culture that adopted this culture into their own.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? It would look like a place where there could be performances. You can have that moment where you do televise and show the world how beautiful this culture can really be. At the same time, you can honor those musicians that nobody ever paid attention to, like the funk, like Clive Stubblefield, who gave us the greatest drum line ever. You know what I'm saying? Along with the Funk Brothers, who gave us certain sounds that helped shape what hip hop is. Even jazz musicians like Coltrane. It can really broaden the horizon of a lot of people. Even rock and roll can be featured in there because I go back to Rick Rubin, and the majority of his samples he used for Run DMC was rock riffs.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? I see it as a place where you're not just gonna see the basics of hip hop. You're not just gonna get that. You're gonna get an experience of where it came from and where it went to and where it's at today. You know what I'm saying? It should be a place where it can bring joy and curiosity.
Okay. All right. Oh, you muted. Oh. You're muted.
Oh.
I'm gonna tell you where it needs to be. It needs to be in the Bronx. They should take like an old movie theater, know what I mean, by either University Ave or whatever. I don't care where it is, but make it into this nice, even if it's a museum, where they incorporate, like Misunderstood said, Adidas, British Knights, you know what I mean? What was the whole thing going on? That's the way I see it, Of course, later on, you will have to have like sections for, Spanish hip hop or whatever, but that's later on, but it needs to be established. So I wanted to put one point because I started looking over here. Hip hop is late to have their own Hall of Fame. So from when rock started, if it was the 50s, to when they inducted the first Hall of Famer, it was about 28 to 32 years.
Okay.
All
right.
And hip hop is at 50.
Yeah, 50 plus now.
So we lapped them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's something that's great. That's a great stat right there. To kind of validate that hip hop is late with that. That's a good stat. Did I cut you off? Misunderstood?
No.
Okay, so I think that I would like to dream big when it comes to this, especially now that they're about 30 years late in building something like this. And should it model the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame model? I think it would be dope to do it like that, to do it professionally, to do it iconically from the beginning. Come up with structures to where they have different categories of who can get inducted into the Hall of Fame, and really to mirror all of you guys that you all said this. It could be anywhere from brands that supported the culture from the beginning, musical genres that were used to shape the culture or the music of the culture from the beginning. Have an artist wing where you honor MCs, groups, DJs, producers, pioneers. and people who helped advance the culture, right? Like fashion, journalism, radio, because like you can't have a hip hop Hall of Fame without inducting, Red Alert, Mr. Magic, right?
Yes.
Then
You would
you
Yeah.
have to put all
then
of New
you have
York in there.
you have a wing
Yeah.
for regional legends, right? Because I guess even if you hold it in the Bronx, which I wholeheartedly agree with, it should be in the Bronx, just like the Hip Hop Museum is in the Bronx. Big shout to
Yeah.
the Hip Hop Museum.
Word up.
You have a regional legends wing where you honor contributors from LA, Houston, Atlanta, Chicago, and all over the world. You can have a preservation wing where people who preserve um, the industry of vinyl could get inducted into that.
Yeah.
Photographers, people that clothing designers. I
Yeah.
think it would be a great idea. I think it has so much potential for hip hop to have its own Hall of Fame and have it to where it's institutionalized and people could actually go in and look at all of this stuff. And like you said, misunderstood, just kind of understand how, because people may not understand how deep the culture is and how far it's become.
Yeah.
So I'm all for that. I think a hip hop Hall of Fame is overdue. I think it should be created ASAP. We were talking about foundational Black Americans and earlier on, and how the new wave of uh, that party has kind of tried to make the rules of who should be included in the history books of hip hop. And I think those same people could put in the effort to do something like this, so that if their main concern is to preserve hip hop culture, then put your money where your mouth is at the end of the day. And
Yeah.
show, because when you show people and you have things missing, then certain people are going to come out and be like, hey, now wait a minute,
Well,
this happened
and
this way. You know what I'm saying? So
see, for me, learning about rock and roll and all this stuff, and watching the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, it's very interesting how, again, this is why I say they should be a hip hop Hall of Fame, because the majority of the inductees at one point in their lives said, I was influenced by Black musicians, Muddy Waters, Howlin' Wolf, those guys, when they used to call it race music. And then when you hear hip hop artists, especially DJs and producers, that's what they're going in to dig into, is those Black rock and roll musicians who helped start it all. Listen, you don't have heavy metal if it isn't for Chuck Berry. And again, Chuck Berry is very important, not only to rock and roll, but also to Black culture. So, I kind of give that to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They do honor a lot of those blues musicians that inspired hip hop also. And, but I would love to see a hip hop Hall of Fame where we
Agreed.
get, you know what I'm saying? That where we get to see that history, those musicians, those rock stars, the Grandmaster Flashes who took a crayon and said, this is how we gonna do it.
yeah,
Turning basic songs into these crazy, amazing break beats.
yep.
You know what I'm saying?
And big shout to Babito. I think he has a series that he's doing on his Instagram page where he's kind of like highlighting break beats that were used in hip hop and that were used in the early days of hip hop, as far as the Latin Quarter, the Rooftop, and Union Square, the breakbeats that were playing. And it's very important to preserve the culture from that point of view, because as those legends fade away due to whatever reason, we are not going to have much recorded history of what was being played back in those days and who were the artists that they were playing. So anyone that's preserving the culture in that way, Babito saying, forget the noise, listen to what was being rocked, listen to what was being sampled, like Misunderstood said, from these particular Latino artists. So if there's a hip hop Hall of Fame, that should be something that should be highlighted. But great conversation, you guys. I love it when I can think of something and we put some thought behind it and get some great point of views. Hopefully, someone can watch this. Someone with money. JC, you got billions, right? Do something, man. Put that up there.
Yo,
make it happen.
Nas was good. You putting up money for casinos. What's good?
That's right. Thank you. I was just gonna say that.
Jay
I reached out
Z
to
too.
Jay Z, but where's Nas at? You know.
You got
That's
money.
Nas.
Listen, Jay Z, you got money to turn your dreads into a fluffy fro. Come on, bro.
Nas has done way more for hip hop though than a lot of other people. That's for sure.
Big time.
Yes.
Because Nas did health insurance drives. He didn't give money to the legend. So maybe somebody else has done that too quietly, but and Nas has done it quietly too, but that's what I know for sure. But yo, thank you for joining me. Hurry up and vibe, my little segment, but it all belongs to the What the Fuck TV network, my brothers. Man. I'm taking a little bit of a little sabbatical. I won't be back. I'll be gone to November. So I'll be gone to November.
Yo, do you mind if I share real quick? Do you know that it just came out that the Knicks' victory over the Spurs averaged 24.5 million viewers, the most since 1998.
Yeah,
and it peaked at 33 million viewers at one point.
Yeah.
Just a little stat.
There was a German man that they interviewed on the street, and he was like, "Yeah, I come from Germany. I'm a Knicks fan, a straight up white German dude." He was like, "Yeah, I've been waiting for this my whole life." How about that? So yes,
I'd like to say we have something to do with it because our
commentary
was on point, and we started #RefGate, which actually let the Knicks win. So
yeah, go back and watch the videos.
Right, and I also like to think that my nervousness helped the Knicks get past those moments.
No. Your nervousness was actually making them more nervous. When you would be quiet and mute yourself, they actually started scoring.
Yo, thank you everybody for joining. Thank you everybody for viewing. Big shout out to my man, Misunderstood, our member who got to do his first segment today.
Right.
Amazing,
yeah, boy,
amazing. We love you,
fellas. Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, no doubt. Thank you for tuning in. Hit like, subscribe, comment next time. I know y'all out there. We had to do this on a Tuesday, but next week we should be back, or the week after that we should be back to Wednesdays.
Yeah, the week after.
Peace.
Hurry up and vibe.
What the fuck TV?